Hello there, this is Cassie and welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. Today is a special hop. We are doing a YouTube hop celebrating Catherine Kelly, the founder of Team Tiny, because she's reached over 1,000 subscribers. And I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but just know that she is pretty incredible in this community and she has done a lot for those with smaller channels to help them grow. So let's get into what we're doing today. I'm going to be making some galaxy backgrounds using these new to me galaxy powders by Brutus Monroe. I thought that I would go the powder route because I've seen Catherine Kelly do a lot of beautiful things using color bursts and various other powders like the Nouveau Shimmer powders, and so I thought these might be a little bit like that. Turns out they're a little bit different, but we're going to go ahead and play with them because I was inspired by that on her page. She does a lot with backgrounds and, like I said, a lot with powders. So I definitely wanted to touch on that. I don't know what's in these powders exactly, but I will tell you they're absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's get back to the details of the hop. So this hop is hashtag driven. The hashtag that appears in each video title can be activated or clicked to provide a complete list of this hop's participants. So please just take the time to stop at each of those talented participants in the hop, leave a comment at each stop, and please consider subscribing. The more channels that you leave comments on, the more chances you have to win for the many prizes that are available. And some prizes may only be U.S. residents, so please include your country in your comment. The only other requirement is that you are a subscriber of Catherine Kelly's page, so be sure to do that. All right, let's talk about what I'm doing. I am opening up each of the bottles and I'm trying to go in rainbow order, and all I'm doing is tapping. I'm not squeezing. I am tapping the bottom of the bottle to get that powder out, and I'm really, really hopeful. So far, I think it looks really good. I've got some watercolor paper, and I also have just some black. That black cardstock is some Raven cardstock by Brutus Monroe. And again, I've just gone through and done the entire rainbow there. And like I said, I'm super hopeful. So I'm going to take these and now I'm going to spritz the water on that. That's going to activate them, and it's also going to get them to adhere to the paper. And I'm honestly not thrilled with how it looks on the watercolor paper. So I'm going to add some more color. Just tapping, tapping, tapping. I do like the puddles of the color. I think that looks pretty good. But as far as how it looks when the water hits it, I am not impressed on that watercolor paper. And then it's going to dawn on me here after a bit. They're called galaxy powders, so maybe they're meant to make galaxy backgrounds. And so that is why they look so incredible on the black cardstock. So I spritzed more water on it. I'm even going to grab a watercolor brush and try to move the color around a little bit. And it does do something, but it doesn't do anything that I'm actually impressed with. Not on that watercolor paper. So I'll just keep swirling that around, and I'll even try and dry it. And I end up just tossing this because I don't care for it. But I love what it did on the black cardstock. So we're going to make a couple more of those. And so this one I'm going to use is a coral. I'll have all the colors listed down below in the description box. But I'm using a coral and I'm using a silver, and I even pull in the light blue, just for a little bit of variation there. And then I'll spritz it with the water, and it does lighten back quite a bit. So I'm going to put a little bit more color in there. I'm going to grab that coral again. But the thing that I found that was most interesting about this is that once that water hits that, as long as it's not like a very concentrated puddle of the pigment, it's not going anywhere. It's going to stay put. Like I said, unless you've got like a major concentrated area. And the cool thing about it is once that water hits it, it also gives it texture. So wherever there is a little bit more of the color, it's going to give it texture. And it's so neat to look at. I don't even think the camera does it total justice. So now I'm grabbing some green and some bronze, and I'm also going to grab some gold. And then we'll put that on there. And I don't know, I just thought these colors would look kind of cool together. And then once I actually hit it with the water, it kind of reminds me of like some sort of a jungle scene. So I'll add a little bit more of that green, and I'll spritz it with just a little bit more water. Again, this is cardstock, so you don't want to go crazy with the water. I'll hit it with my heat tool, and oh my gosh. Again, wherever there's a little bit extra powder, there is texture. And I think that's probably my favorite part about these powders. And I'm trying to rub them away, and they aren't rubbing away. It's beautiful. All right, so now we're going to move on to actually making some cards out of these. I just have another piece of that Raven cardstock. I put my magic powder bag over the top of that. I'm going to stamp my sentiment that just says thanks a lot. That comes from the Tree of Thanks stamp set by Brutus Monroe. I'm going to cover those first two with some Gilded embossing powder, and then I'll heat set those till those are smooth and melted. And then we're going to use an orange because I thought that would go so well with the coral, blue, and silver background. So I will pick up my mess here, and then I'll stamp one more down using that embossing ink, and then cover that with this Clementine embossing powder by Brutus Monroe. And it's not a fine detail embossing powder, but it does a great job of covering this and leaving the detail pretty nicely. All right, so after that, we're going to go ahead and trim out our sentiments just using our guillotine trimmer. And then when we're done with those, we'll get ready to start actually doing some assembly. My card bases are going to be some Not Your Mama's heavyweight cardstock. It's a 130-pound weight, so I do score it on both sides. I have 3 card bases. They're each cut to 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and scored at 4.25 inches to make them side-folding A2 size cards. To adhere down each of my panels, I'm just going to use a little bit of Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. And then I have a good white space on that right-hand side. I'll trim down my sentiment just a little bit more when the time comes after Max inspects it, and I think he's impressed. Somebody said he's my manager, and it kind of makes sense. Between he and Miles coming and inspecting and making sure that all is well. They're quality control, I think. I'll peel off the release tape on my foam tape that I've used on my sentiments, use my glass mat to line that up. And then here are our 3 cards. Again, I love these powders. You are definitely going to see these again. Just beautiful on that black cardstock. Maybe I'll even try and see what it does on some other darker cardstocks, but I love it. So if you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And go check out my description box down below. I'm going to have all the details of this video hop. And yeah, you're going to have fun. You're going to want to hop along and comment as much as possible because you want to be eligible for those prizes. And congratulations, Catherine. You are an inspiration. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.